I really do think, and a lot of parents express this, kids talk about it fairly directly, but it's a little narrower view. What the parents witness and what they understand in their kids is that because art and science in the woods is experiential, in other words, you need to come out here. You need to not see a snapshot or a photograph, but the idea of being in the woods in a cool, calm, relaxing environment. If you've had that as a young person, that is to say what I call vocabulary, if you develop this vocabulary about how geologists work, how artists work, when you become a freshman in college, you've been exposed to it already, and you have a much fresher and more educated view of what geology is all about. Or maybe I really enjoy writing as a poet, but you at least have an exposure that can really change your view of how things work for your own experience and for your own studies.
I love performing because you can make people feel emotions that can really make them realize how much that people contribute. I would like to be an actress in my future because it's something I love, but if that is something that doesn't happen, I would like to maybe be a teacher or something to do with kids.
It's also intriguing to see how many of them have gone into a career in the arts or science, or often blending the two, like I do in my work. I make my living as a performing artist and storyteller and poet. My training is as a scientist, and so my art is an expression of the wild world. And you see a lot of that in kids by the end of the week. Their appreciation of the wild world, their ability to articulate their thoughts, to be able to think not just creatively but also scientifically and analytically, and to exercise both hemispheres of the brain. That's, to me, the magic of this place.
This environment allows you as a person, as a child, as a teacher, to explore nature and develop your skills and talents in both the arts and sciences in a way that doesn't happen in a classroom. As professional teachers teaching in the college systems, we saw that our students were so disconnected from nature and didn't have the opportunities we had. We also went back to the communities where we grew up and saw that the green places that we grew up in were gone. And we knew what it meant to us, and we knew what was happening to children as a result of not having that connection to nature. Young people are living on the internet rather than experiencing the world. So another aspect of art and science in the woods is that we wanted children to learn firsthand, to have the opportunity to explore as a scientist or as an artist their planet.
Sun Foundation, it made me feel more connected to things. You always have to get used to your surroundings when you're in a show, and when you're surrounded by nature, you learn to love it and respect it for more than just plants and trees, because you realize they contribute all sorts of things to us, like what's very beneficial to our lives.
All learning has its roots in nature. Everything in life we go through out on that field, both in the old days and survival these days. You know, you need to learn to work well with others. You need to learn about the complex relationships between the grass and the trees and me and you and the animals and everything else.
Out here, I think parents, deep down, they realize the value of real human contact, you know. This is a beautiful place, and that was a big part of it, my coming here, to be out of the city, you know, either Peoria or Chicago, and in a place where there are no tall buildings and valleys of concrete and glass, you know.
And that's just for me hanging onto it up here. If I muffle it and then here, it'll get more of a thunk. So in this class, I'm kind of opening you guys up. You're only going to be here for a week. And then afterwards, when you're done, you go out and continue the rest of your life, the rest of your summer, let's just say the rest of your summer. I want you to be thinking about some of the things that are out there that you could possibly be giving a new life to. Because I got to tell you, these buckets, you'll look at these buckets differently now when you see one laying on the side of the road or maybe in a garbage can or something like that. Recycled Rhythms is a class based upon building their own drums with found objects, and primarily it's 5 and 3 gallon bucket drums and some nuts and bolts that have been found and or discarded at construction sites. So we're giving new life to items that would, for the most part, be thrown away. And it's great to get the kids involved in that, because when you get them when they're young, they can start talking to their parents or grandparents or friends about other alternatives to making music, coming together as a community, recycling our environment.
This is the universe that we live in, the world, and this is where our imaginations can grow. And while we're working with these different professionals, maybe we're learning some techniques and trades that we'll use in the future. It's just great to get outside of the classroom and not be held down by anything. Be allowed to just fly.
Storytelling.
I see the light in you. You see the light in me. Together we shine. This entire world is based on that. If we can just make our life our own responsibility, do the best that we can do, and we share that with the next person that we see, and we try to see the beauty in them, together we shine, and we walk around the world lighting the place up. That's what we do at the Sun Foundation for a solid week, and it carries some of us through an entire year till we come back again. We all have a responsibility to make this world a better place. Through the story, through the drum, through the efforts of all of those who make the Sun Foundation possible, arts and science in the woods possible. We always go back to Bob and Joan and we give them all of the love and support and holler out the energy that we can. We love you!
It's all of you who makes it happen.
All of y'all! Everybody, clap your hands, everybody, please.
We have a hard time describing what it is that we do. What does Art in the Woods consist of?
I think the program gives students confidence of being a learner, being a first-hand learner, and gives them confidence in developing skills, to be comfortable with nature, to be comfortable with themselves, being comfortable to explore new ideas and problem solving on their own. So I think it helps them become, the methods that they learn for learning here will last them a lifetime.
I know it's a cliche that the future is the children, but it's also a fact that the future is the children. And so I think the best way that we can promote positive change in the world and openness and understanding and empathy for other people is to start with the kids and start teaching the kids.
You get to be a part of their lives, and you can't help but to soak some of that in. It becomes a part of you too.
They're going to learn to appreciate the wild world. They're going to learn to ask a lot of good questions and look for their own answers.
And on Friday, they're new people. Even if they've already done it a few times, maybe 9-10 times, they know that there's going to be something different that's going to happen, and they're going to it's some sort of situation that maybe they know what's going to happen, but they don't, and they always handle it very, very well. It's a beautiful thing to see that confidence grow.
Probably the one thing I would say to someone who's never been to Sun Foundation or never heard of it is, if you go, expect to have the best week of your life.